Hey guys, so now we're going to talk about the steps to adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So the first step is always to find the common denominator. So finding the common denominator, remember the denominator is the bottom number. It's how much is in one whole. Remember, part to whole. So we have 4 2/3 take away 2 1/6. So we list all of the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, and this one should be 12. Then all the multiples of 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. Since we want a common denominator, the smallest one is probably going to be easiest, so we notice that 6 showed up in both of them, so we're going to use 6 as our common denominator for 4 2/3 take away 2 1/6. Over here, this is actually going to be plus. We're going to do 14 plus 4 3/7. You notice that 14 has no fractional part right now, so we can use the common denominator of 7. It's just going to be nothing out of 7 because there's no parts out of 7 being a whole. So step 2 is to write equivalent fractions with the common denominators. You see here, we wanted 6 as the common denominator for this one, so we said 3 times 2 is 6. That means we need to do 2 times 2 is 4. We can multiply both of these by 2 because 2 over 2 is the same thing as one whole, so you're not changing the fraction at all. These are equivalent fractions, 2/3 and 4/6. So 4 2/3 changed to 4 4/6, and 2 1/6 stayed the same, 2 1/6. Over here, 14 and 0 parts out of 7. This means nothing out of 7, so we didn't add anything at all. We just put a fractional part here. 4 3/7, still 4 3/7. Okay. Finally, step 3 would be to add or subtract the numerators and keep the common denominator. So over here we have 4 2/3 was 4 4/6 minus 2 1/6. We add or subtract the numerators. 4 minus 1 is 3. Keep the common denominator, 6. And then step 4 is add or subtract the whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then on this side, 14 and 0/7 plus 4 3/7. 0 plus 3 is 3. And we keep the common denominator of 7. 14 plus 4 is 18. On Thursday, we're going to look at some where we have to borrow from the whole number. We're not going to worry about that today, though. We're just talking about the basics today. Oh, sorry. So here we had 2 3/6. Step 5 is just to simplify if necessary. If it's not necessary, you don't have to simplify. So that means if you have an improper fraction here, you're going to have to change that into a mixed number. Or if it's just not in simplest terms, then we have to change it. So is this improper or is it just not in simplest terms? Okay, we know it's proper because 3 is smaller than 6, so the numerator is not squishing the denominator, so it's proper still. It's not being rude. So we simplify that. All you have to do is we see what can we divide 3 and 6 by, or we can divide them both by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Remember, we have to divide by the same thing in the numerator and the denominator because that doesn't change it at all. It's an equivalent fraction still. So your final answer for 4 2/3 take away 2 1/6. The difference, that's the answer to the subtraction problem, is 2 1/2. Sorry, I kind of covered that too. And then over here we had 18 and 3/7. Well, we can't simplify 3/7 because 3 is prime. It can only be divided by 3 in itself, and so is 7. 7 can only be divided by 7 in itself. So we can't simplify that at all. So the answer to 4 plus 4 3/7. This is an addition problem, so the sum is 18 and 3/7. It's already in simplest form, so we're just done. That's it. That is how you add and subtract mixed numbers. You're going to look at these problems for the questions you have to answer on your own. Thanks, guys. See you all tomorrow. Bye.